Teachers at a Birmingham school have voted to stop teaching a teenage boy who threatened other pupils with a knife.
The boy was permanently excluded from Saltley school after a serious incident, but governors have since overturned the decision. The move has angered parents and teachers, as Ben Godfrey reports.
In May, West Midlands Police were called to Saltley School in Birmingham after reports a pupil was threatening others with a knife. Officers took no further action. The school decided to permanently exclude the teenage boy. But before the summer holiday, governors here decided the pupil should be allowed back into classes. This parent, who has 2 children at Saltley School, told me she's concerned for the safety of pupils. She doesn't want to be identified.
This young boy threatened several children, and you can imagine the dilemma we're facing. You know, what's going to happen in school? Is this boy going to hurt one of our children? What happens if he does hurt one of them? It really does scare us.
It's clear some teachers also have concerns. Following a ballot, the NASUWT union says its members have voted to refuse to teach the pupil and are in further talks with the school. In a statement, the head teacher, Balwan Bain, said, "I have total confidence in the safety of all pupils and staff at Saltley School." He said, "We did have one incident recently that I consider to be very serious, and it went through due process. The needs of all pupils are being met," he added. Tonight, local Labour councillors are calling for an investigation.
I think it's very important, considering the recent stabbings of youngsters in Birmingham, 2 in particular, very recently. So there's a lot of unrest amongst the community and the youngsters. So I think it's really important that a thorough investigation must take place.
Birmingham City Council says it's acting as a mediator. This year, Ofsted gave Saltley School a good rating and found that their students are being kept safe. Ben Godfrey, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.
Well, with me now is the Deputy Police and Crime Commissioner for the West Midlands, Yvonne Mosquito. Good evening. Briefly, do you think that the governors at Saltley School were right to reinstate that pupil?
Well, I don't know the facts of the case, but I will be speaking to the Chief Constable tomorrow with Bob Jones and find out what's actually gone on there. OK, Yvonne Mosquito, thank you. Thank you.
Teachers at a school in Birmingham will refuse to teach a pupil from today after the child was allowed to return following an incident involving a knife.
Parents and teachers at the Saltley School are angry and concerned about safety at the school following the decision. Sally Lockwood reports.
A pupil here was involved in an incident with a knife earlier this year. They were originally expelled, but governors reversed that decision, allowing the child to return. A decision that hasn't been popular with teachers or many parents. A group of parents gathered outside the school today in protest at the decision. And teachers, also angered by the move, last week voted in favour of refusing to teach the pupil in question. They were members of the NASUWT union. And today, a representative of the GMB union arrived here to meet with their members to discuss safety concerns at the school.
They've also asked that they follow the same procedures of what the NASWT have taken, which is to be balloted on the issue of not teaching or supervising the child in question. And ultimately, if the child is not excluded from the school, then they will be possibly be prepared to take industrial action.
We understand the pupil didn't attend school today, and the head teachers refused to comment on how he plans to handle the situation when the child returns, now that a seemingly growing number of teachers are refusing to teach, instruct or supervise the pupil in question.
Union leaders have written a letter of no confidence in the governing body of a Birmingham school where a boy threatened other children with a knife. Concerned parents gathered at Saltley School this afternoon to find out what action's going to be taken. The pupil had been permanently excluded until governors reversed the decision. The school says the incident was dealt with through due process, but the GMB union says school support staff are concerned.